Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. Another round of maternity ward closures at Chilliwack General. A video of a Vancouver homeless man being dropped off in Chilliwack. Action for Canada trying another approach to remove the school board chair. And the Chilliwack Chiefs are in the Coastal Conference Final. Josh will have more in sports. Our guests this week include Kate Healy with Chilliwack Community Services. We'll have an update on the Fraser Valley Healthcare Run for Mom. The Harrison Festival 2023 lineup has been announced, and Sue Knott and another edition of Charity Spotlight and the Chilliwack Animal Safe Haven. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. Fraser Health is again taking some serious heat for staffing shortages. The closure of the Chilliwack General Hospital maternity ward, one happened in 2022, another one was back in 2019. It's going to happen again during the 4 weekends in May. And once again, staff shortages and holiday schedules are the reasons. Now, expected moms have been contacted by their doctors that they should go to Abbotsford Hospital if their due dates are the same as these closure dates. Ironically, this is coming as the Run for Mom is ready to go. Fraser Valley Healthcare Foundation, along with Chilliwack General, hosting the 23rd annual Run for Mom to raise funds for the maternity department in support of moms and babies. This will happen Mother's Day, Sunday, May 14th, and will feature a 5-kilometer run or walk. News of the Week spoke with Liz Harris, who runs the organization as well as this race. We'll have more with her in just a moment. CCS, or the Chilliwack Community Services, has a new executive director to replace Diane Jansen. Kate Healy is the new boss. Ms. Healy has worked with various roles within the organization for about 10 years now. And coming up in a few minutes' time, we will have an interview with her on her new duties with Chilliwack Community Services. Action for Canada back in the news. They are behind a new petition on change.org to have school board chair Willow Reichelt removed. They cite her, quote, lack of leadership when she cuts off people at the microphone during public comment during school board meetings, unquote. The petition does have no weight, as Reichelt is an elected official, and the provincial education rules cannot single out anyone specifically. Reichelt blasted the petition's creators on social media, calling the whole exercise mean-spirited and useless. Action for Canada is a far right-wing group that is behind book banning of what they call sexually explicit materials in schools. Out-of-town homeless people being dropped off in Chilliwack or other communities, it's a concept that is not new, but when there is documented proof, that becomes a different story. There is a video in question that was sent to the mayor, Ken Popoff, last Saturday from a community member who wanted to stay anonymous. But they gave permission for the mayor to share it with video. And basically, it is UGM, the Union Gospel Mission in Vancouver, and a van of theirs. The video appears to show a homeless person being dropped off in the downtown Chilliwack core. Now, UGM is in the heart of the downtown east side in Vancouver, where recently there has been, a takedown of the tent city that stretched along Hastings Street, and of course, plenty of rumors. Popoff did let UGM know that local resources are tapped out, and his job as mayor is to take care of the hometown people first. Apparently, a UGM staff member picked this person up, brought them to Chilliwack where they thought there was going to be support in place. UGM did release a statement saying the man in question thought he had something ready to go. It fell through, and with help from Ruth and Naomi's, the man was taken back to Mission in the UGM van, where allegedly there are supports now in place for him. District of Kent Mayor Sylvia Pranger literally walked the talk in support of the Lettsmont Aquatic Center. Now, last Saturday, the mayor walked the 26K from the District of Kent Municipal Hall to Chilliwack's Landing Leisure Center and then on to the Chilliwack Coliseum. This to drive home the point that Kent Agassiz needs an all-season pool facility that is accessible and inclusive for everybody. And yes, she went through 2 pairs of running shoes. Pranger, on the upside, raised some $30,000 for this walk. However, the downside is the project is still $3.5 million shy of the $16.5 million target. Although she did say she could have walked another 10K. News of the Week was at the finish line at the Coliseum. Have a look.
Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations.
Inquiring minds got to know, how are the feet?
Good.
Good.
They're okay.
The 2023 Harrison Festival roster was announced last Friday. Executive Director Andrew Hillhouse and the General Manager Brian Cutler unveiling the roster, including something that's going to be a little bit different for the first day. A long-lost film from the R&B scene in New York from 1969. That will open the run, which is July the 7th to the 16th. We'll have an interview with the management team in just a moment. City of Chilliwack's brand new bike lane sweeper has arrived. It's already on the road. Cycle Chilliwack telling News of the Week the dedicated sweeper has been much anticipated by cyclists in the community. Keeping protected cycling corridors clean of debris throughout the year has been an ongoing safety concern for Chilliwack cyclers who use these lanes for commuting as well as recreational outings. The announcement was a shock to many. After 40 years of service, the Provincial Heritage Branch has removed the Yale and District Historical Society as the managers of the Yale Historic Site. Well, the contract has been awarded to Forager Foundation, which, according to the Yale Society, has been done without Indigenous consultation. Now, the Yale Society has submitted a formal complaint to the Assistant Deputy Minister, Nick Grant, regarding the administration and the outcome of this tendering process. After the break, we will catch up on what is new with the Executive Director of Chilliwack Community Services, as well the Harrison Festival, also another edition of Sue Knott and Charity Spotlight, and the Chilliwack Animal Safe Haven, and then sports with Josh, and the Chiefs are in the conference final. News of the Week continues with the new Executive Director for Chilliwack Community Services, Kate Healy, who has taken over from Diane Jansen. But you're not a newbie when it comes to Chilliwack Community Services. How long have you been with the CCS now?
So I have been there for about 10 years. Yeah, so I actually started as a volunteer. And I've just I landed there out of a lot of choice, and I've just stayed there because it's just amazing. So yeah, I've been able to grow within the agency, and yeah, here I am 10 years later.
For those who are not quite familiar with CCS, with Chilliwack Community Services, what is it? Is it just a referral? But it's more than that.
Yeah, I mean, Chilliwack Community Services is a multi-service agency. So we serve, our little tagline is Twinkle to Twilight. We serve everything from prenatal all the way to seniors. We provide employment services, immigrant services, senior services. We have housing. Our goal is to fill gaps, and we've kind of just provided services across the spectrum. Yeah. One
of the big things that everybody has noticed and everybody is talking about is this certain building downtown, the Paramount. And you've been in there involved with this literally since the first shovel hit the ground, or before that. How much planning did your crew have before you even went, okay, we can do this? A lot.
Yeah.
A couple of years, plural?
I mean, we, as an agency, have been working on the Paramount for almost a decade. It started with the board, had a kind of a dream, and it went from a dream that the board held, and it's gone to where it is now, where it's this beautiful 6-story building in downtown Chilliwack, and we get to be part of it.
And various people, Luke Zacharias is involved?
That's a board member of ours.
That's a board member,
we've got a few of our integral board members who've just really, they had a dream to bring all of our agencies under one roof. And through the dream of wanting to also provide affordable housing, we've worked with a lot of partners and a lot of folks to make it where it is today. And yeah, with a hopeful move-in date of spring 2024.
Yeah, and we were just talking about this off the air. My understanding was maybe a few months later, but you made serious time with the work crews over the past year. The actual structure of what is going in there, I understand one floor is retail and then CCS and then housing on top, or am I wrong here?
You're not far off. So how it's going to look is along the front of where Yonge is, that is going to be commercial space. So that will be rental availability for businesses. And then half the first floor and half the second floor will be our office space. And then a portion of the second floor will be 8 units for young adults, and the remaining 4 stories will be for seniors.
Now, can people apply for that now, or do they have to wait? Or?
We're not quite ready. We're getting there. We're getting close. Once the announcement is up, everyone will know. We will span the information as far as we can go, but we're still working with BC Housing. It is, the applications will largely come through their housing registry. So when we are ready, everyone will know.
If somebody wants to get involved with Chilliwack Community Services as a volunteer, what type of skills are you looking for?
It's really varied. We have lots of opportunities. We're looking for really just people who want to serve their community, want to give back, a lot of openness. You have to be open. We're working with people with diverse needs and diverse kind of, yeah, so the more open you are to serving your community, we're interested in connecting with you.
Now, we would be remiss if we didn't ask this. It is called the Paramount and the Paramount sign. So, as I understand it, a bit of the old sign from the old theater is going to survive and become the new sign? Is that it, or?
There's been a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So our mayor did salvage a portion of the sign. He's kept that P, which is really impressive.
Yeah.
But the actual sign, the building won't have the Paramount sign. We went through a lot of decisions and discussions, but it is a building that is being supported by BC Housing, so the budget is being supported by tax dollars, and in order to create the infrastructure to hold a sign of that nature was significant.
Right.
Salvaging the sign was going to be significant. Rebuilding the sign in its likeness was going to be significant. So the building will be the Paramount, it will be the Paramount building.
Yeah.
But it will not hold the sign, sadly. We will do pieces to kind of commemorate the history of the Paramount.
Okay.
But the actual sign, sadly, will not be joining our building.
Well, that's the cool thing is a nod to the history, though, because it's almost, shall we say, hallowed ground. Great stuff. Kate, again, congratulations on the gig. I know it's been a long time coming. You got a lot of work ahead of you. And I guess kudos to the construction crews because they have been just way ahead of schedule, but I guess the weather's helped quite a bit too.
They're awesome. They're super organized. It's a fantastic team.
And again, if somebody wants to get more information, you or your staff, you're all over social media.
Exactly.
Kate, again, a big thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
And you're watching News of the Week. News of the Week continues with Liz Harris, who is the Executive Director for Fraser Valley Healthcare Foundation and the really cool Run for Mom. This takes a lot of people putting this together. How many people are involved with volunteers and staff? And
Yeah, so our office gets together and works on it, and we have a number of volunteers that also support the event as well too. So we can't do it without all of our volunteers. They really do make a difference for us.
how many people are involved? Do you have a ballpark figure, or is it just a lot?
There's just a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why the run? Why are we doing it? And it's not just a run. You can walk this as well.
Yeah, no, so Run for Mom is a very historical event in Chilliwack. It actually existed before Fraser Valley Healthcare Foundation existed, so it has been raising funds out here within the Chilliwack community for a number of years. So the run is over 20 years. It has changed locations a few different times. It is a family event, which is really important, so that's why we call it a run walk. So you are welcome to run, and you can run at your fastest, but we want to make sure that everybody can come out and participate. So you can come, you can walk. Some people bring their dogs, some people bring their little ones in strollers. We've had bikes on the route as well too. So it's really an inclusive event.
And this is what, May 14th?
Yes, this is May 14th.
And where's the start and the stop and the finish line? Or
So it's on the Vetter Trail, the beautiful Vetter Trail that you have out here on the river, which is fantastic. And we start by the dog park. So we go out for 2.5 kilometers, and then we turn around and come back for 2.5 kilometers. So, but it's a picturesque walk. Like, it can't be any more prettier.
with raising the funds, has it always been for the maternity department? Because you said there's been a long history.
Yeah, so it's really women's health, which is the key. So anything to support women and children within the community of Chilliwack.
Now, if somebody can't make it, can they still log on to a website or a Facebook page or something like that? Or?
Yeah, so Fraser Valley Healthcare Foundation raises funds for the Chilliwack General Hospital and Fraser Health programs out here within the Eastern Fraser Valley. So they can log into our website. They just Google Fraser Valley Healthcare Foundation. They can click on the donate button, and there you'll see that we support 4 hospitals in the community. They can just choose the Chilliwack Hospital and then put maternity department or their emergency department and choose which area that they would like to fundraise
Oh,
for.
okay, so there is a choice, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just Chilliwack General. What's Abbotsford Regional as well? And
Yeah, Abbotsford Regional is on there, Mission Memorial Hospital is on there, and Fraser Canyon Hospital. But the funds from Run for Mom do stay in Chilliwack and go to the Chilliwack General Hospital to support women's health.
So the website is what, FVHCF or?
Yeah, that's good, because I always forget.
I always forget.
and
.org?
.ca on the end.
.ca.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
FVFCH.ca. We'll have that up for you. Liz Harris, Executive Director, Fraser Valley Healthcare Foundation, the Run for Mom, May the 14th. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
You're watching News of the Week. something that we do every year and we just love it. On the left is Brian Cutler, on the right, Andrew Hillhouse, Harrison Festival of the Arts. We just got the announcement of everybody who's coming. There's so many incredible artists, but there's a couple that I wanted to highlight. First off, opening night, I did not know about this film. Tell me more about it, because I at first I thought you guys were going to show Wattstacks, which was like, what, 72? But this came out the same time as Woodstock?
Yeah, the movie's called The Summer of Soul, and it's about the Harlem Culture Festival, which was in 1969. Yeah, the same summer as Woodstock. But folks, you know, wasn't as spoken about as well known, and all these tapes of it were buried, all this footage, and it's folks like B.B. King, Nina Simone, Mahalia Jackson, there's footage of her, Gladys Knight, all these great African American artists of the era, and beautifully put together, you know, and with the sort of the social context of the time and the history and stuff. It's really great. We
off camera, we were seeing the preview, and there was a really young Stevie Wonder behind a drum kit,
yeah,
which was really cool. Kaylee Cardinal, any relation to Lauren Cardinal, the actor, Canadian actor, or is it?
I do not
maybe
know
not
that.
But you played a clip and took my breath away with a lot. Well, there's a lot of blues and R&B in this year's show that I've noticed. Tell me more about Kaylee.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's an Indigenous artist from. She lived in northern Alberta. I think she's from Manitoba originally, and yeah, she's one of those artists who grabs people, just gets you right in the solar plexus. Yeah. You know, I think with her voice, and that's basically, you know, that's what souls are all about, right? It's just that ability to that feeling to have it. It's not just rattling off names in the phone book or whatever. It's really.
There is one guy you mentioned, and being a deadhead, you got my attention. Joe Craven. He played with Jerry and he played with Grissom. Who, what? Where did he come from?
Well, it's funny. I'm a musician. I did a gig in a festival that was a Deadhead festival. Yeah. I was playing with another band in Edmonton a year ago, and Joe was part of this thing because he played with Jerry, and we got to play with him and stuff. And yeah, he was just awesome in every way. Perfect, I think, for our festival. The beach, I think he engages with the audience, really pulls people in, and is funny and can play all sorts of instruments, and great entertainer.
And again, there's not just Memorial Hall, there's the beach, there's you're going to have workshops. This takes a lot of time and effort, guys. How long? And you're still piecing this together as we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always little details that, you know, it never stops. We're a year-round organization, so you know, we constantly have things in the works from year to year. So we're already looking at next year even. So. And
we were also mentioning off air, you know, Vancouver Folk Festival. We thought we were going to lose them, but you guys, you have to look for sponsors as well. You're still looking for corporate sponsors, or even just smaller sponsors to chip in a few bucks.
Yep, always.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I think, you know, the pandemic kind of, some of those community relationships, just for nobody's fault.
Yeah, just happened.
Kind of, you know, we're wanting to reconnect again with the community and with anybody who supports, you know, wants to support us, and you know, we got an audience here that I think a lot of businesses would have a lot in common with, and so it's come talk to us.
The new website, or the revised website, it's live and tickets are now available.
You bet. Yep.
And 24/7 ordering, or you don't have to just call in and wait for a phone line, or?
Oh, you can just go online. They're ready there, and we'll answer the phone 10 to 4 Monday to Friday.
Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome to chillTV. I'm Sue Knott, and this is Charity Spotlight. And today, my guest is, Marley, who's a 9-year-old cat. And my other guest is from Chilliwack Animal Safe Haven, and she is Christy Moschopedis, and she is the shelter manager. So welcome, Christy. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm great.
So tell me a little bit about this guy.
Marley has been in and out of the safe haven since he was 4 months old. He's a Manx, so there's no tail at this end. And he's a very, very big boy.
And he's very sweet. He's just lying there like
so
it's just no
great.
big deal.
Yeah, he is. He seems to be comfortable no matter where we take him. He does this at the vet too. Just lays on the table and is happy to do it.
Well, that's awesome. So with any organization, particularly not-for-profits, it's difficult to get volunteers. So tell me about that. How are you doing for volunteers? And, you know, if you could ask for anything, what would it be?
More volunteers would be great. We need volunteers for pretty much all shifts now. We're doing more cat intakes. We have more cats now than we did, say, 2 years ago. So that increases our need for volunteers. Our volunteer shifts are from 9 till 12:30 in the mornings, and then 4:30 till 6:30 in the evenings.
Okay, and so as far as your facility there, you know, people can surrender cats there. They can also go there to adopt cats.
Yes.
That's correct?
Yeah.
But you only handle cats, no dogs.
Yes. We often get calls for dogs, but we just handle cats.
Well, there's certainly no end of need in Chilliwack, and there's lots of cats out there. So heading into the spring season, what do you want to tell us about cats?
Kittens, so many kittens. We are coming into kitten season. We are in a time period right now that we call Tom season, where all the phone calls we get for help will be intact tomcats in people's backyards yelling. And they are yelling, looking for females, which means that kittens are being made. So we are trying right now to stockpile supplies so that when the kittens start coming, we are prepared. I believe the number we had last year from August through to December was something like 157 kittens. Like, it's not a small number.
What a great place to volunteer, though. You have to be able to play with kittens all the time. But I know it's a serious problem.
It
and
is.
As far as spaying and neutering, I know that you get involved in that. Now, do you do that there? Do you have a doctor or a vet that you deal with on a regular basis? And who pays for that?
So we have donations that come in, we do fundraising, and we apply for grants. We were just awarded a community gaming grant.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's tough to get grants, and it's a lot of hard work, and I know that every little bit of money that you can bring in when you're not for profit is a huge, huge help. So I just want to say thank you to Chilliwack Animal Safe Haven Society and Christy Moschopedis for coming today and bringing this beautiful Marley, who is just such a sweet boy. He's just sat here so quietly the whole time. Yeah. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching Charity Spotlight.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Josh. Welcome back to sports. That's what we do in this part of the show. I feel like that's what we do every week. You should know that by now. All right, without further ado, let's just jump into it. The Chilliwack Chiefs are moving on to the Coast Conference Finals after a dominant 5-0 Game 6 win against Nanaimo. They will now play the Alberni Valley Bulldogs in the conference final, and while the first 2 games will be on the island, tickets are on sale now for Chilliwack's home games next week, with Game 3 on Tuesday, May the 2nd, and Game 4 on Wednesday, May the 3rd. Alberni Valley started to get very hot towards the end of the regular season and have clearly carried that momentum into the playoffs. So the Chiefs are going to be in for a very tough test with a berth in the BCHL finals on the line. And speaking of big sporting events in the Valley, one of the biggest events in logger sports is coming to Chilliwack on August 12th and 13th at the Chilliwack Coliseum. The Steel Timber Sports Canadian Championship will feature reigning Canadian champion and bronze medal winner at the 2022 World Championships, Marcel Dupuis, as he defends his title against 11 of the best logger sports athletes in all of Canada. I gotta be honest, that's one of those things you see on like the score at 7:30 at night. I don't have a clue how they do what they do in logger sports, but please check out the Steel website if you want to go to those go to that event at the Coliseum. Now this Saturday is The Game, a prospects showcase game in conjunction with the BC Community Football Association. And special guest coaches Bo and Nelson Lacumbo are going to be on hand. They are products of the W.J. Mowat High School football program out of Abbotsford, and Bo is now with the BC Lions, while Nelson is with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Both played a role in the player draft, for the game, for the young, junior, and senior prospects teams, respectively. And they'll also be on hand to kind of encourage and motivate the players at Chilliwack Exhibition Stadium this Saturday. All-day event. It's going to be an amazing time, and you can catch all the action on VBN Sports. And if you're looking for a sweet treat while you enjoy the football action, the Valley Huskers will be selling Krispy Kreme donuts, $15 per dozen at Exhibition Stadium on Saturday during the game from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Huskers spring camp starts at the end of May, so keep an eye out for that. Basketball players from Chilliwack and Abbotsford have been named to the Basketball BC provincial team. Macy Svela, yes, Macy Svela is one of the 11 regulars named to the U15 girls team, and the 5'8" GW Ram forward is going to be beginning training later this month. She also plays club ball for the South Langley Storm. The roster also includes 2 players from Abbotsford, Yanea Bose and Juliana Reimer. Now, being named this team is a tremendous honor, as the players are actually chosen by a panel of college and university coaches, so congrats to those girls. Well done. Chilliwack's Heritage Park will play host to the indoor Fraser Valley BMX Nationals, presented by USA BMX and the American Bicycle Association. The championships will be May 5th to 7th, at Heritage Park, and NAG points are up for grabs as well. That's basically how they license themselves. So that's going to be big stakes at the championships. Finally, the Hope Golf Club and Riverside Wedding Venue Mother's Day Golf Tournament is Sunday, May 14th. Did you forget? Mother's Day, May 14th. Don't forget. Moms are going to be playing free with a paying guest, so if you're looking for a unique Mother's Day gift, look no further. Call the Pro Shop to book a tea time if you're interested. All right, that's all we've got for sports today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always, and we will see you next week.
chillTV weekend weather with Cari Moore. Cari, with the forecast, dare I say this, can I wear shorts this weekend and show off my legs?
No, Don, you don't ever have to wear your shorts, but it is gonna be hot. Hot, 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 hot. It's like we went from being moist from the rain to being moist from the heat. It's gonna last all week. We're gonna have sun, 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 and then spring will be here. Back to you.
Thanks, Cari. A minor note, in our interview with Kate Healy with Chilliwack Community Services, we mentioned that the Paramount Project is on it's on Yale. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.